Okay, a couple more things. Power, all right, because I know everyone gets such a hard on for power, but you have to be able to know where it comes from so that you can replicate it in all different types of situations, not just in perfect situations where you're grounded to the floor and you throw a really good punch, you stop yourself, you maintain position, because fighting happens in a super dynamic way. All the situations are going to change and you need to understand how power actually works, okay? So power can be broken down into three types of things, okay? It's broken down by momentum, your connection to the floor, and then the rotation in your body. So what I mean by that is my momentum, when I'm connecting to the floor and throwing myself in a direction, that's what makes for a hard punch. When you watch like a shot putter or like a pitcher or a quarterback, everyone throws through like this, okay? Sometimes they'll throw here, but they're definitely not gluing themselves and connecting themselves to the floor, but they are flinging their weight in a way where they're gaining momentum from this drive on the floor, okay? That's really important in fighting because when I'm throwing a punch, I need to understand that my power comes from this push off of the floor and throwing a punch, okay? No matter what the punch is, I typically am using the floor in order to generate a lot of my power, okay? But in striking and in MMA, it's really, really important, of course, to stay in position. So you don't get to launch really hard punches, fall forward like this, as if you're like a pitcher or something like that, okay? In fighting, this is not very good position, okay? So when you're thinking fighting, you have to think position, the way that you connect to the floor and throw punches using this floor, okay? And also catching your momentum so that you could stay into position, okay? The last thing, of course, is rotation. I can't throw a very hard punch not using my body. Even if I use all the floor in the world and don't rotate in my shoulder when I do anything, it's gonna make for kind of like a weird, not super realistic feeling of power in your body. So when you are thinking power, I'm using momentum, I'm using the floor, and I'm using my body to rotate and throw my punches really hard, okay? So that's kind of how power works. All right, so last thing, because I could tell that you guys are getting bored because this stuff kind of bores me too. But like I said, it's really, really important to understand. That way you're able to replicate it throughout your entire game so that you can kind of, you know, find when you're watching your film of your sparring or whatever it is or something feels off, you can watch it and be like, oh, it's because my feet are facing that direction so I don't have push in that way. Or, oh, I'm not getting much power on my punch because I'm not rotating much. Or, oh, I'm not staying in position because I'm flinging my momentum over my leg like that. But the last one that we're gonna talk about is our speed, okay? Speed works by using smaller steps, okay? The tinier that I make my steps when I'm using good footwork, the better off you're gonna be, okay? And that's because fighting is a reactive thing. It's not like I'm saying hike and running my play, okay? Even though I know that that's not maybe the best example of a reactive scenario because there still is reaction in that. But fighting is a dance, okay? So when we're thinking, I want to be able to react, I can't react as fast if my feet are taking really big steps, okay? I can react and change direction when my feet are hovering above the floor. I don't like sliding because that creates friction and friction makes things slower. But when I'm using good footwork and trying to be fast, I'm keeping my feet glued more or less, or hovering on the floor. So that if I need to, I can hit my brakes. If I need to, I can hit the gas. If I need to, I can change direction. All of that happens and you'll get a lot faster if you use and think of speed in footwork terms of the smaller the better, okay? So that's our biomechanics. I hope that, you know, that wasn't too boring, but it is really important that you guys understand all that. Let's get into our beginner techniques. All right, guys, if you guys liked the video, make sure that you guys like and subscribe. If you guys want the full course, it's at CorySandhagenMMA.com. All kinds of courses on there to do with striking, MMA, mental performance. Now we have footwork. I hope you guys enjoy. Like, subscribe, comment. I love you. Peace.